It's showtime. You guys get me tight. You get me nervous up here.
Have you been able to put your stamp on this program, or do you know yet, or is that just, or kind of the evolution of that and how that's going to take place?
Well, I think, Mike, our preparation's been really good. I feel like our system is in, and the transition's been great from Mark to myself. Us go back such a long way, so there's a lot of similarities in what you're going to see. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. I felt after this week's preparation, I felt like we are in a good spot, and really now time to go and play somebody else and kind of see where we are.
Why are you in a good spot? What about the makeup of this team puts you in a good spot right now?
Well, I just think the experience, some guys returning, some guys that were young last year had a chance to play a lot as freshmen and sophomores, and having Nissel back full time and healthy, getting from the back injury and things like that. I think this team, we took our lumps last year. I think these guys are out to prove something, and I just feel good about how they bought in. They come to practice every day, and the next step is going out and playing somebody and kind of seeing where you are and coming back and making some adjustments.
What do you think needs to happen this year to get back to where you guys were in 18? Last year I had some injuries and stuff, but what do you think needs to happen to get back to the tournament and to make some noise?
Well, I think we got to stay healthy. Last year we had some key injuries. 2 years ago our pitching was really good. We had a great Friday night guy. We had some awesome relievers, and then we had our closer in Ross Lerner. So we got to be good on the mound if we're going to get back to that part of it. I do think we're going to be better offensively. I think we got some offensive guys that were not here last year, so I'm expecting those guys to kind of take some of the load of the offensive part, and of course you got to play defense. I think we're going to do that for the most part, but I feel like pitching and defense is something that will carry us year in and year out, and if we can do a better job this year than what we did last year, I think it's going to make a big difference.
How important is it to have a guy like Skylar Hunter? I mean, the guy who was there in 18, he's all 4 years now as a starter. How important is that for your program?
It's been huge. He's been great in the transition for me. I'm the outfield coach, so I've had a relationship with him ever since I got here. So he's been really good. He's been banged up just a little bit. Got hit, ran into a fence last week down at Grand Park, but he's coming around. He should be fine for next week. But just having that stability, him leading off for us and being that key component up at the top of the line is going to be big for us for a good start.
You mentioned Ben Nissel, just having him back presumably in the middle of the lineup. Can you talk about what he'll mean offensively and defensively there in the outfield as well?
Well, Ben's really grown, in our program. He was a freshman All-American. He had a tremendous freshman year. He came in last year and got off to a good start, and he got hurt down in Texas. And so, it's a situation where having him in the middle of the order is going to make a big difference for fascia and all the guys around him. So we're really excited for him to be there. He looks great. He's been running well, and we're excited. We think we're going to have a great year.
Do you have an idea of what your rotation is going to look like at least here, early? I don't know if that's a yes or a no.
Well, we haven't locked in on some guys. To be honest with you, we're still, after this weekend, we want to come out after this weekend and kind of make that decision. We got some huge next 3 days. We're going to scrimmage and kind of see where some guys are. We had a few guys with a few nagging injuries that kind of put their pitch counts down below what we want. But we feel like after this weekend, we'll have a pretty good idea. I'll sit down with Coach Marks and come up with a plan. But I do think our pitching, we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of different guys that can do it. And I think for us as a coaching staff, we need to find out who's going to be our starters, who can come in and relieve, and definitely who's going to be a guy that we can count on in the ninth inning and bring him in there and get it done.
Who are some of the guys that you're looking at from a starting standpoint that would be in that mix?
Well, we got Trent Johnson. He's been here. He was a bullpen guy early and then started the last few games last year. He did a great job. He's definitely a guy that we're looking at. Bo Hoster's a guy that closed for us last year. We feel like whenever he comes back fully healthy, he's a guy that we definitely are looking into.
As a starter?
Okay. Yep, as a starter. And, Jet Jackson's a freshman that we really like. Corey Brooks was a guy that's been here for the last 2 years, coming off an arm injury his freshman year. He started a few games for us last year, and he's been real stable. So Jackson Smeltz is a local guy here in town that is a guy that we're considering. We really haven't locked in on those guys this weekend. It's going to be big for them. They know that. We made it a point to let them know, like, after this weekend, we're going to have our rotation kind of set where we are, Mike.
Some of the other guys like Bryce and Tyler Powers and some of these other guys that have been around as well. What have they, added here?
Well, you can't, for me, having experience is something you just can't put a price tag on. You know, those guys were here when we, you know, kind of surprised the conference and finished second in the league and got a chance to play in postseason. So we're hoping that experience from those guys, they can, you know, let the other guys know how it is and so forth. But having those guys and the stability of what they know, you know, they know what it takes. And it's been a great transition for me and for those guys, having those guys here every day, coming out to work and being really good practice guys.
Are you looking at Jackson as primarily a pitcher, or does
He
he get
is.
involved in hitting at all?